Hi guys, my name is Cornelius. Today I will show you Teldex Studio, our control room, our hall. So let's go inside, follow me and I will show you around. So this is control room 1 of Teldex Studios. It's the main room where we recorded the Orchestral Tools sample libraries. So it's a hybrid setup made of analog console, also a controller by Avid, and it kind of works for us to have this hybrid workflow, to have something for mixing in the box, but also to have live recordings and live mixes. For the Orchestral Tools sample libraries we use mostly our preamps from the desk, but also a device from Merging, the Horus with another very good preamps. So this is basically the main room for bigger recordings in the studio. As you can see, we're using Pro Tools. We also use this for the sample recordings, but we do use some other digital audio workstations as well. For speakers, we have the PMCs, we have some B&Ws and smaller Neumann ones. The PMCs are really good at translating what is going on in the hall, what we are recording, and this is a really important thing if you talk about sample libraries, because it's really a lot about detail and what is happening in front of the microphone, which is the most important thing, apart from having a good sounding room in combination with good musicians, good microphones and a good room. So I think the next thing to show you would be our great hall that you can see through the window here. It's appreciated among a lot of people in the world, also musicians, but also conductors, composers, not to mention, of course, Orchestral Tools or the sample library company. So if you like, I'll show you our hall. So this is the heart of our studio, the recording hall. It's 450 square meters. And as you can see, it has a lot of different materials that make the sound very special. And let's check out some microphones we have set up here. It's basically a lot of technical equipment that we inherited from our tradition with Telephone and Decca and later on Teldex. So we do have a lot of vintage tube microphones that we use constantly in the hall. We use M50s for the Decca tree, for instance. We have M49s that we use on piano a lot. And for strings, it's just whatever you feel like or the taste. Also maybe to give, when we talk about sample libraries, to have alternative colors in the product is to have like a condenser mic and a ribbon mic. And so we have different colors to choose from. So this hall was built in 1890. It used to be a ballroom. And up where we just were, it was the stage for the band to play. And so people were dancing here, the band was playing. So as you can see, this building always has been around music. It always has been a place and a home for music. And that's what we try to keep on doing here, like doing recordings, but also keeping the tradition of this house and this building. And that is what makes this place so special. It really is it's a magical place to make music in. So Orchestral Tools chose to come here to record one of their sample libraries, and since then most of the libraries have been recorded here, which makes a really nice, straightforward approach. All the products are recorded in the same space, most of them. And so this gives you as a composer the availability to take advantage of these nice acoustics that are in here. And so talking about microphones, you probably wonder what is this position in my library. So there's, for instance, a Decca tree consisting of 3 M50s. And so if you've never seen one, that is how it looks, that is how it can look. And it really is like one of the main parts of what makes the sound of Teldex, in my opinion. And we use it on almost every orchestral recording. And it's been developed, as you can tell from the name, with Decca. Teldex, the label, was a fusion of Telefunken and Decca. And so again, we see there's like this strong sense of tradition. So we also have Steinway pianos available. There's most of the time there are two of them. It's sort of a joint venture, so you can rent a piano through Steinway and it gets tuned. We have both of these are D pianos, so it's like the big grand pianos. But we also have a smaller B, which is from the 60s. It's a lovely sounding instrument. And so we have a variety to choose from what kind you like. And since there's a lot of piano recordings going on here, it makes sense to have them available. So this is one of our smaller recording rooms. It's basically used for like singers. You could also have a harp in here or any instrument that you want separated from the orchestra when recording to have a better feeling in the mix. So this is control room 2. It's just a small tracking room used for guitars, drums, whatever you have in a smaller context. It also has a studio desk, lots of little things to play around with. What is connected to this room is one of our solo booths. This one is the booth where the Nocturne cello was recorded in. So we use this, as I said, for tracking guitar amps also, but for having solo instruments and everything that needs to be separate from the orchestra when it's playing in the hall and you want to mix it and have a bit more freedom over the sound. So right now we're in control room 3, which is basically used for classical recordings. We have 2 studio desks, a Pyramix digital workstation, and we use it when we don't need that many inputs. So like smaller recordings with a piano or a soloist, we mostly do here. So this is one of our rooms that we use for editing classical music, which is a big part of what we do, and also a very important part to get together with the musicians, choose the best takes and combine them together to have the best version of the piece we recorded. On the other side we have a similar room, but it has now changed and become our Atmos suite. So this is where we do mixes and edits for Atmos music that maybe up mixes as well. And as you can see, we have a setup of Atmos speakers, 4 on the ceiling, the sides. We have the normal surround setup as well, so it can also be used as a 5.1 surround room. Okay, so next time you're on the computer and composing, I hope you got a better idea of what Teldex is like, what the technical equipment is like, and maybe we'll see each other someday in the studio to record something together. And thank you for tuning in, and I see you next time.